Welcome to Love, Desire, and Pain. I'm your host, Double A, and I hope you enjoy over here, where we'll be giving you short stories of love, desire, and pain, and some poetry every week on Love, Desire, and Pain. Welcome back to Love, Desire, and Pain. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you blessings and love to you all over the world. No matter what you're going through, keep going and tune in every day to the podcast to get some calm and entertaining short stories about love, desire, and pain. Tonight we'll be taking a little trip into the world of the Flaming Hearts. What couple shall we listen to and tune into tonight? Let's see. Enjoy. Leslie sat in her room on the bed, baffled by what she saw in Mike's phone. Was it the fact that it was almost 10 years that he had left his phone behind at home? Or that it was clearly a mistake of his, obviously? Reading the words in the text messages, "Where are you?" and "Call me." She could feel her whole body tightening up, and the muscles in her legs began to burn. She was barely breathing, and her head began to pound. She could feel the blood in her body start to boil. She wanted to run. She wanted to move, but she was just too angry that it felt as if she was paralyzed. Contemplating on what she should do next, she made the decision right then and there not to say anything. She decided from here on out to move in silence. She decided to investigate further. All she could hear in her head was, "Karma." Welcome back, guys, to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you blessings and love to all of you all over the world. No matter what you're going through, don't forget, keep on going and tune in every day to the podcast to get some calm and entertaining stories about love, desire, and pain, some poetry, and much, much more. Tonight we're going to delve into my poetry book called Epiphany. It's available on Amazon. And we're going to get some, what is a doppelganger? Well, let's see what it says. The dictionary word doppelganger is an apparition or a double of a living person. It is a biologically unrelated look-alike or a double of a living person. In fiction and mythology, a doppelganger is often portrayed as a ghostly or paranormal phenomenon and usually seen as a harbinger of bad luck. The word doppelganger is a loan word for the German noun doppelganger, literally meaning double walker. So let's go to my poetry book, Epiphany, and I'm going to be reading to you original. I am me, you are you. Never was supposed to be any other way. How can one copy the reflection of what's your reflection, of what's your essence and glow, the aura of your pureness, your inner being that is captivated? It is encased in your shell, your original. Looks can be deceiving, but one's spirit, it cannot be mistaken. You can try to mirror one's vessel, but you can never truly be or replace the original. Thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. Once again, it's your girl, Double A, and I hope that it was entertaining for you as much as it was for me to bring you a little bit of my original poetry. I hope you guys have the rest of a wonderful evening, and to all, good night. Welcome back to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you blessings and love to you and to you all over the world. No matter what you're going through, don't forget to just keep on going. You still have a chance to change the things around you. And every day is a new day to start anew. Tune in every day to this podcast to get some calm and entertaining short stories about history, love, desire, and pain, poetry, and much, much more. Tonight we'll be delving into my book called Serial Twins, and we'll get the definition of twins. It's May the 18th, 2023. The definition of twin in the Oxford Dictionary is one of two children or animals born on the same birth, or a person or thing that is exactly like another. The Collins English Dictionary defines twins as two things or ideas that are similar or connected in some way, and the Merriam-Webster defines the twins as either of two offsprings produced at birth. On this day in history, Britain declares war on France over North American colonies. Nearly 2 years after skirmishes broke out between the two world powers in the Ohio Territory of North America, Great Britain officially goes to war with France. The 7 Years' War will expand to include nearly all the major European powers and was fought on almost every continent. On May 18th, another thing that happened on this day was Randy Johnson threw a perfect game at age 40. Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Randy Johnson at age 40 threw a perfect game against the Atlanta Braves, becoming the oldest player ever to do this. Johnson would finish his career in 2010 with over 300 wins, and he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015. And that was on May 18th in history. Now on to Serial Twins. My book, part 1, is about Mandy. Serial twins. There's a pair of serial killers running around simultaneously, wreaking havoc coast to coast, devouring anyone they can come and cross paths with. Will anyone be able to catch these ghostly tyrants? Find out in my book, Serial Twins, and part 1 tonight, Mandy. Mandy had been a news reporter for WBBA in Chicago for 17 years. She started as an intern her second year at USC. She grew up not too far from the university in Hyde Park. A lovely suburban feel was what her childhood was filled with. Girl Scouts, high school football games, and carpooling moms was the order of everyday life. Lately, she had been stalked at home and at work. Someone had been hacking her computer, and she had lost a lot of important information she needed for an upcoming story. It was the hottest story in the city at the moment. Sadly, last week someone had killed her black kitten she had rescued from the shelter. He was outside her front door and outside of her loft-style apartment. Someone had broken his little neck. She had told her boss about the stalking incidents and her kitten being killed. Unfortunately, no one took her seriously about being stalked. She had no time to focus on who was stalking her, so she kept working on her story, which would air very soon. And that was part 1 of Serial Twins, Mandy. Thanks for tuning in tonight to Love, Desire, and Pain. I'm your host, Double A, and I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight, just like I did entertaining you. Please tune in every week where you'll get a dose of poetry, short stories, and anything else that I feel like you guys need to hear to have your day to be a little bit better. The Angel of Love is out. Bye. Welcome back to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you blessings and love to you and all of you all over the world. No matter what you're going through, don't forget, just keep on going. And tune in every day to the podcast to get some calm and entertaining short stories about love, desire, and pain, poetry, some news, definitions, and much, much more. Tonight we will be talking about light, the definition of light, and reading from my poetry book, Life After the Pain, available on Amazon, the poem Light. What is light? Light is, or a visible light, is electromagnetic radiation that can be perceived by the human eye. And now for my book, Life After the Pain, Light. You illuminate me with your spirit. I give and receive your love. I never get lost in the challenges of the day that I face. I thank you for shining your approach to me to the gloom. Angelic auras you bless me with. Your good intentions don't go unnoticed. You are always gentle with my heart. I love what you give to me in the darkest of times. You shine unto me your light. And I thank you guys for tuning in to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. It's me, your girl, hosting tonight, Andrea. And I hope to see you again here on Love, Desire, and Pain. Bye. Welcome back, guys, to Love, Desire, and Pain. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you guys blessings and love. To all of you all over the world, no matter what you're going through, don't forget, just keep going. I hope you tune in every day to our podcast to get some calm and entertaining short stories about love, desire, and pain, some poetry, and much, much more. Tonight we'll be delving into my book, God, Can You Hear Me? And my poem, God, I Love You. We'll also be talking about the Archangel Gabriel, and a little bit about him. The Archangel Gabriel is an archangel with power to announce God's will to men. He is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament and the Quran. So, tonight we're going to be going from my book, God, Can You Hear Me? And I'll be reading to you, God, I Love You. I was alone in this cold, cold world. It was hardened all around me, abandoned by those sent to protect me. But God, my God, you put me in your hands, holding me while I was alone. That's why, God, I love you. And that's God, I Love You, in my book, God, Can You Hear Me?, which is on Amazon. And I thank you guys for tuning in tonight to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, and I hope that you'll tune in to me regularly every night at any time. Bye. Welcome back to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish you blessings and love to you and all of you all over the world. Thank you for tuning in, and no matter what you're going through, remember, just keep going and tune in every day to the podcast to get some calm and entertaining short stories about love, desire, and pain, poetry, and much, much more. Tonight we'll be reading from my book, Megan Was Cloned, Part 1. Megan had a perfect life. It was one you could only dream of. Her parents were well-known attorneys, and most of her friends had a lot of money. But something was missing from her life. She had grown tired of the mundane, everyday, same old daily activities of a rich girl. So she decided to take on a hobby in order to kill time. So Megan went over to her school's activity board in the commons area to see what she could find. On the activities board, Megan found an abstract painting class on Saturdays that seemed interesting, so she signed up. As she got ready to leave, she saw Chad, who was a really cool and handsome guy from school and also the captain of the football team. When Megan returned home, she called her best friend Alex, who had really curly brown hair and had the whole 70s style thing going on. That night, her and Alex watched a few movies and did a little shopping on Amazon online. The next day, Megan went to school and everything seemed perfectly normal and fine. She stayed late for her after-school study group and then hung out with the crew, which was Megan's favorite pastime. By the time Megan pulled up her Audi up to her house, it had already gotten dark and the lights were off around the house. Megan was grateful for being blessed to live in such a great, well-established gated community. Her parents had done really well for themselves, and Megan had planned to follow in their footsteps and do the same. When Megan made it up to the front door, her passcode wouldn't work, so she continued to try it, hoping not to disturb anyone if they were asleep. After her third time trying, Megan decided to walk around to the side of the house to see if she could see if her maid Blanca was around. As she peered through the window to the dining area, she saw a girl who had a splitting image of her. And that was part 1 of Megan Was Cloned. Tune in every day on my podcast, Love, Desire, and Pain, with your girl Double A. I hope you enjoyed our spooky little tale tonight, and tune in to find out what happens when Megan was cloned. It gets really good. Welcome back to Love, Desire, and Pain podcast. I'm your host, Double A, the Angel of Love. And I don't know if it's morning, evening, or night where you are, but I wish blessings and love to everyone all around the world. It is May 18, 2023, and in closing of the week in this podcast, I want to say thank you to all those who did tune in and listen. Even if you're going to be listening in the future, I thank you so much. And I also want to say, let's send out some prayers to Canada as they battle wildfires that are ripping across their land and records as they're smashed by a heat wave. As I think about Canada and we send prayers out to them, I'm going to read to you from my book, Life After the Pain, a poem called Rain, praying for rain, rain, rain to reach Canada soon as possible. Rain, you calm me with your presence, the tiny drops that fall down on my window pane. They relieve my heart in pain. Rain, you make me feel sound. You give me peace that helps me sleep. You are the vehicle back to my sanity when I am sad. You have your own rhythm and your own beats. You're a musical. Rain, you can make a picture of love with your beating on my rooftop. Sometimes I have to shelter myself from you. Other times I just stand in you and let my hair drench in you. Rain. And that was Rain from my book, Life After the Pain. And once again, let's send prayers, guys, out to Canada. It's May 18, 2023, and they're battling really bad wildfires. Thank you for tuning in again, and I'm closing out this week on my podcast of Love, Desire, and Pain. And I thank you guys. Bye-bye.